While there's still some issues about accessibility when it comes to getting a test to see whether you have COVID-19, it's getting much easier to find a different kind of test, the kind that can tell you whether you've had the virus and recovered. The second kind of test checks for antibodies in your blood, but many of those tests have not been federally approved and could be producing unreliable results. NBC's Josh Lederman reports, quote, as of this week, 150 antibody tests, also known as serology tests, are on the U.S. market without having faced government review, according to data from the Food and Drug Administration. Another 24 labs are conducting their own antibody testing without having obtained FDA authorization, end quote. Several companies which produce these antibody tests are now the subject of an ongoing congressional investigation. Joining me now is Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, who's a Democrat from Illinois. He's the chairman of the House Oversight Subcommittee and Economic and Consumer Policy. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Here. Tell me about this. I mean, we have this real excitement about getting these tests out there, and I think it may not even occur to people that even the test needs FDA approval. Is it because of potential dangers in the tests, or is it because they just might not be that accurate?
Well, you're right that these serological tests hold great promise. However, what we've learned is that the FDA has allowed hundreds of unregulated, potentially fraudulent tests to flood the market. And here's the problem, Allie, and that is a large proportion of them have high false positives, meaning that if you were to take this antibody test and it yielded a false positive result, you could be fooled into thinking that you have antibodies to COVID-19 and potentially immunity when you actually do not. And so you could relax your social distancing, go out and interact with a bunch of people, catch COVID-19, and then get other people sick as well. So you could make some really dangerous life decisions based on these unregulated, potentially very fraudulent tests.
The other issue we have, I want to just show you a New York Times report that 1 in 4 New Yorkers had contracted COVID-19. The preliminary data suggests that many more New Yorkers may have been infected than was previously believed. And there are reports like this from all around the country. What does that tell us? Because there are a lot of people who are anxious to know if they were exposed to it, because it might allow them to either make decisions or know who to support in what sometimes feels like a very political fight about whether we should be going back to work or continuing to stay at home.
The short answer is that the science is still unsettled. We don't know exactly what the presence of these COVID antibodies means in terms of how much immunity they confer, if any, on people, for what length of time, and what that really means in terms of what you can and can't do in your daily activities. This is where the FDA has to step into the void and give us precise standards so that even if you get the results back from these COVID-19 tests, you know what to do with them. Besides that, we think that the FDA should clear the market of all those junk tests and only allow authorized tests to be on the market. Today, there are only 8 authorized tests according to the FDA's website, whereas there's more than 150 unauthorized tests, which, as I said, could be very faulty in terms of their results.